I tell you guys, this gas does not smell good at all. It kind of smells more like kerosene or something. There it goes, pumping away. That thing sounds pretty good, I gotta say. Okay guys, so a little bit about the fuel pump I got here. It's made for a carbureted, sort of like a lawnmower probably, or some small engines. It has a little solenoid in there that clicks, and it's supposed to be able to have suction. I can't remember exactly, maybe a foot of lift or more, maybe a little more than a foot of lift. And it has a shutoff in it for pressure, so it's supposed to hold like 6 pounds, 6 psi. Stops pumping then once it gets to 6 psi for use with a carburetor. And what some of the reviews I went through, there's actually some people are running a car engine on one of these. But what I'm using it for is just to pump out the old fuel. So it looks like it has two different size fittings on here. I'm going to get calipers and I'm going to measure these. You got a connector on here that you can snap it into if you want to connect it to some equipment or something like that. What I'm probably going to do is cut these leads off, and I may extend these wires, probably will extend the wires and then connect it straight to a RV battery with the ring terminals, and you come with a little filter. So I'm guessing the suction side is probably the bigger side on there. It says 12 volts DC. I do not know exactly what size those are. It doesn't tell you anywhere. I'm guessing that's probably like a 5/16 and a quarter inch on this side. Kind of looks like it. I've got some fuel line in a box here. I could probably check it. I think this is going to be 1/4 inch vacuum hose. It might be smaller. Let's see if I can find one that's marked. Here's 1/4 inch. Alright, let's see if that fits on here. It's going to be hard to do with one hand. This looks like a smaller. I could be wrong. Those could be the same size on both. To me, it looks like that's not going to go on there. Quarter's not going to go on there. So here's one that's a 5/16. Okay, that's probably the right size for it. Yep. 5/16 goes on that end real easy. I'm going to turn the pump around. Could be an illusion. I thought that side looked smaller. But we'll see here. And it's the same size. Both sides. It's 5/16. So I was wrong about that. The Chevy motor, that line that's coming off that's going to be 3/8. But I think I could probably either shove this on there or put an adapter in the middle there somewhere. Or I could use this fuel filter as an adapter. It's probably 5/16 and 1/4 on that step down there. So I'm going to get this all hooked up. Just thought to talk about the pump a little bit and how that works. I'm not sure which. We'll find out which is the inlet, which is the outlet. I don't know. There's nothing in here that really tells you. Probably figure out which side's suction and which side pushes the fuel out. I'm thinking this is suction side, but I could be wrong. Okay guys, I just want to show something here. The wire size is very thin on this pump. When I went to strip it, I think I used probably the 20 on my stripper. Okay guys, we're getting ready to do a little bit of a test with this Bravex electric fuel pump. So what I got here is a fuel can, and I've got the pump connected up with a 5/16 line on each end. And I've got a little container of fuel here, some old gasoline, and I'm going to measure that in a minute, but I got the battery around the corner in case there's gasoline fumes and we get a little spark. So we're going to keep that away from the gasoline. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure. What I'm doing is to see how much lift we can get off of this pump. How high will it pump? How much lift we can get. Basically, so here's the pump, and I have it about, at the fuel line, it's about 19 inches. Okay? What I did on the fuel line, I cut on a little bit of an angle so it can suck gas off the bottom of this. So we're going to try and pump that old gasoline into this tank here. Let's see how it works. If it'll lift it that high. Here we go. Ready. I'll connect the battery up now. Got this marine battery I'm using. It looks like it's connected backwards. So try reverse that because I wasn't sure, there was no instructions in it. You can see now that this is not the inlet, this is the outlet on the pump. So I'm going to switch those around and we'll try it again. Alright guys, I switched the lines around. So you got the pump hooked up there the opposite way now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the timer. You got a stopwatch on here. That's maybe 2 or 3 cups of gas in there. So we're going to start it, hook up the battery. When I hook the battery up, I'm going to hit start on my stopwatch. Right? Okay, here it goes. Got the stopwatch going. See that? I'm going to just set it down for now. I'll take a look. Oh, it sucked that gas right out of there already. It's gone. Sucked it all out. And I'd say a little less than 20 seconds. Probably like 16, 18 seconds. So we know that thing will lift fuel that high, and it pumped it out pretty dang quick. That was about 18, 19 inches of lift on that. So I'm going to try it a little bit higher lift, see if I can get this set up. Okay guys, we got another setup here with the BraveX fuel pump. I've got it set up on these cinder blocks, and it's about 5 feet off the ground right here. Okay, so we got 5 feet plus an additional foot of fuel line. This time we got a little more restriction on it. So here is a 5/16 line, and I put a fuel filter in there for more restriction. The fuel filter, the fittings on the ends are 1/4 inch. So I got a 1/4 inch fuel line. This is 5/16, this is 1/4. So we're going to test this and see if it'll pump with that much lift. That's 5 feet of lift through a fuel filter and all on a smaller line. Okay, we're getting ready to start the test with 5 foot of lift with that fuel line in there. She's going to hit the start button when I tell her, and then pan down to that fuel down there and watch it pump. So I'm getting ready to, as soon as I put the wire on the battery, hit start.
Now?
Hit it. And see if is it pumping. Is it pumping the fuel? Look down here and see if it's pumping the fuel. not sure if it's lifting it at all. It is. It's pumping that fuel out. Look at that. So it has five foot of lift. It sucked it dry. Plus it pumped through the fuel filter. Show the fuel filter. So it took a little longer, but look at the fuel filter. See, I'm gonna disconnect it now. So yeah, it took, I don't know how long it took. Probably took about 30 seconds or something. There's 37 on there, but we didn't hit it off right away. So yeah, this pump up here, this Bravex pump will lift fuel 5 feet up through that 1/4 inch line and through the filter and all. So pretty good pump, I like it. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and pump all the gas out of this old car here. Okay guys, we're going to give this Bravex a serious test here. A little electric fuel pump. One of them little solenoid pumps. I've got maybe 3 feet of fuel line. It connects up on the motor. It's going to go through the fuel pump. So there's the outlet right there. Line that comes up here behind the alternator. Through that fuel filter. So we're going to see if we can suck the fuel out of the tank through the fuel pump. The mechanical fuel pump. I'm not sure. I've never tried to do this before. I'm going to see if it works. And I've got the fuel can there. So I'm going to put that on the battery.
You ready?
Go ahead. Try it. There it goes. It's starting to pump away. Oh, whoa. Look at that. Unbelievable. There's fuel coming through the fuel filter. Cool. So maybe I can pump out the fuel tank. Thing is, this old Nova's been sitting 16 years and the fuel that's in the tank is rotten. So I didn't know if that would work or not, but I figured give it a try. I'm not sure if we're passing fuel. Kind of looks like it's passing fuel. You want to pull that out of there and see if there's fuel splashing out of the end of that thing. Oh yeah, it's definitely in. Look at that. It's pumping fuel straight out of the tank. It's amazing. I gotta tell you what, it was worth I think $15, maybe $20 with shipping and all for that. So we'll see. We'll let it run for a while. I've got it hooked up to the RV battery. We're just gonna let that run and we'll see. We'll get back to you and see how much fuel comes out of this tank of this Nova. That's crazy. I didn't think that was gonna work at all. See, I thought I'd at least have to disconnect this line here. This goes straight to the fuel tank, but this is coming right through the fuel pump. No, what is it? Oh yeah. Yeah, there's how much fuel's already been pumped out. Does it smell like gas? Smell it one time.
Smells like gas.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's got a strong smell though.
Well, earlier I did a test with the pump, and I pumped some fresh gas into that can. I had just 2 cups of gas. I pumped out a little container just to see if it would, I tell you guys, this gas does not smell good at all. It kind of smells more like kerosene or something. There it goes, pumping away. That thing sounds pretty good, I gotta say. I'm really impressed. It's sucking it all the way from the gas tank. It definitely has some suction power.